Dragon Ball has a lot of techniques, which is why this is my third video on essentially ranking a tier list of all of the Dragon Ball techniques. I've been taking your suggestions down below in the comments and on my Twitch channel where I'm streaming this. So hey, if you want me to rank more techniques, if you want me to rank anything else, please let me know down below in the comments and maybe let me know on Twitch. We'll see what I can do. Regardless, let's get into the tier list and what it means. You know, all these tiers. Okay, my boy. Starting from the bottom to the top, we have why. Because why is this a technique? Why is this in the show? I don't understand. At the moment, there's nothing right there, but you know, maybe in the future, if you guys think of a technique that's no bueno, something's gonna be there. But that we have meh, like it's a cool technique. Is it worth? Is it cool? Is it helpful in any way? Probably not. Again, nothing's there, but maybe eventually if you guys come up with something, it'll be right there. Above that, we have cool. If I think the technique's cool, it has some function, and I think it's just, again, I just think it's cool. That's where it's going to be. Above that, we have good, which is techniques that are, good. They're good. I think they're cool. I love them. I think they're cooler than cool, actually, because I said they're good. But they're also going to be helpful in the series. You know, again, I'm not really power scaling these, but I do just kind of like put them on helpfulness. So this whole tier list is favoritism and a little bit of, hey, that's helpful. Above that, we have favorite, which are my favorite techniques. I'm sure you guys have a lot of amazing techniques that you have a favorite. So that's where I'm putting mine. Again, usefulness, how cool I think they are. Definitely some of the top tier stuff. And then we got iconic ones such as the Call Me Your Mama. I mean, the Kamehameha, which is in the Kame Your Mama tier. That's just going to be there. It's got its own separate tier. Maybe I'll do own separate tiers for other techniques, but that's going to be up to you. You guys tell me if you guys want a separate tier for a certain technique in the comments, in the Twitch stream. Just tell me. All right, let's get into the tier list. Hey, YouTube, we're here with more techniques on, well, Dragon Ball. Got all these Dragon Ball techniques. A lot of them were suggested by you. And hey, if you want to suggest some more techniques to add to this list, by all means, tell me in the comments. Tell me on stream, because I am currently streaming on twitch.tv/MegaDS11. Again, these are what we got so far. So, Call Me Your Mama, Kamehameha. You know, it's got to have its own iconic tier. That's how I felt. My favorite. So again, let me just reiterate, a lot of these aren't just based upon power level or anything. It's just based upon what I think is a cool technique in my eyes, or some of my favorite techniques. Keep in mind, I'm also kind of using like how much they're used, how effective they are as well, somewhat, but for the most part, I'm like, is it cool? And half the time, it's really cool if it does hit something. So somebody told me to add more Daima things, such as Glorio's magic. So we have that right here. So I guess, you know what? Let's just start with this one. Let's just kind of go out of left field and immediately start with Daima. I feel like that's fair. I feel like that's okay. I feel like that's cool. Yeah. That being said, it is magic. Magic is inherently cool. You know, I feel like I can't go meh or why, because let's be real. Magic in Dragon Ball is probably one of the coolest things. At least to me, that's how I feel about it. I don't know if that's how most people feel about this, but, you know, we got Buu with magic. Well, a lot of attacks are basically Ki Blast. So to actually use something like, look at this, he's using lightning. Like, theoretically, he's, you know, just conjuring that, which is, you know, pretty sick if you ask me. Although the effectiveness, so here's where we talk about like how it's used in the show and how cool it was. Let's be real, Glorio kind of got washed by Goku, but at the same time, it is Goku, so of course he's gonna get washed. Like if you expect him to beat Goku, I don't know what to tell you. That's not gonna happen. It's Goku's show. He's got that plot armor, all right. But I think it's pretty cool. But like, here's the thing: to put it above a lot of these iconic things seems really disingenuous, if I'm gonna be quite honest. So I don't want to put it in meh because, like I said, it's inherently cool. So you know what? I'll put it behind everything on cool. For now, that's probably where I'll leave it. But the odds of me moving that around, probably a little bit higher. But at the moment, that's where it's gonna be. We still got plenty more to go through. And here we go Metamore Infusion. Wow, a fusion technique. You're telling me that's a technique? It has technique in the name. It is a technique. I think, I think it's pretty cool, but I think it's definitely one of my favorite things, because Gogeta's one of my favorite guys. You know what? I might just put this on the top, because you know what? I'm you know what? I'm a stickler for fusion. I think fusion's really cool. I prefer to this over Potara any day. It's like an actual technique. It's cool. It's got a little prep time. It's got a sweet little dance. There's a lot of nice moments with it, like with Vegeta being reluctant to even use this technique because, you gotta do a silly little dance. Vegeta's like, I don't want to do a dance. Like, just that reasoning alone, just everything about it, everything around it, it just kind of hits. You got the failed fusions and stuff as well. So it's not just a technique that can just be easily used by, just in general. Here's the thing as well. Everybody could use this technique technically, you know what I mean? Like, technically Tien and Yamcha could probably do it, I'm just saying, like, this is a technique, and I think it's versatile, and I think it's really cool, and it's got some moments. Henceforth, favorite. Now, you could disagree, you could agree, but as always, just tell me in the comments, because I don't know what you guys think. Anyway, we'll be seeing, Gohan on the floor, wearing a gi, and wonder, what is this? It's Piccolo's clothes beam. So, Piccolo gave Man's clothes. Okay, now obviously the clothes beam isn't a Piccolo exclusive move, but it is kind of funny to think that you could just kind of, just manifest items. I'm gonna be real, I kind of forgot what the technique was actually called, so I'm gonna just call it the clothes beam for now. But essentially you could make almost anything, to my understanding. Like if you want to make like a weapon or something, you could. But in the terms of Dragon Ball, I don't think it's very helpful, because it's just kind of like, everyone kind of uses their fists. I don't know why I'm holding my hand. Everyone's like using their fists and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So like, how effective is a weapon? Then again, I guess if you read the Mankey, or you like key infuse it, I suppose. But I just feel like the show's super meaty and stuff. I do think clothes beam's a cool technique though. In fact, would you consider that magical? I don't know. Put it over Final Flash. Yeah, that's right. Putting it over Final Flash. All right. It's not a Final Kamehameha or anything. It's just Final Flash. Speaking of which, I should probably add those next time or something. But another thing too, I will probably put this to rest until I get a couple more techniques from you guys. So again, just tell me down below or tell me on stream like what techniques you want me to add, so I could add those next time. So yeah, I don't know, I'll probably do other tier lists in the meantime while I wait. So I feel like just doing 3 of these in a row is kind of crazy, so I'm probably gonna do this last one and then move on to different sort of tier list. But again, just keep recommending techniques. I will add to this and we will get back to it. Anyway, here we have body change. Body change is very funny when you think about it, considering how Zamasu just kind of was just like, yeah, hey, Super Shenron, you wanna, yeah, can I swap with Goku? Yeah. Whereas Ginyu has the technique, but we don't gotta talk about all that. I'm just saying, in a way, it kind of cheapened body swap, at least in my opinion, at least to me. I feel like it cheapened it just a little bit, just a tiny bit. But I think body change in general is really sick. I kind of like the idea of just essentially finessing your opponent. By that I mean getting beat down to a pulp to where you're near death, and then possibly punching yourself again just to like finish the job, and then body change. Like, woo! I don't know. I think it's pretty sneaky. It's pretty cool. It's awesome. The only problem is if you miss, there's a big glaring flaw, which also kind of makes me like the technique a bit more, because there's a flaw to it. It's not just like a MacGuffin. It's just kind of like, oh, you do it. It's a big risk, but if you hit it, it's a pretty good finesse. Like, for instance, like Ginyu, we don't even know if that's Ginyu's actual body. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's kind of confirmed that it isn't his like original body. That being said, what is his original body? I don't know. He body changed a lot. I think it's a pretty cool technique. I don't know if I would put it on a favorite, but it's definitely on like the top of good for me personally, at least at the moment. Again, these are all subject to change, but right now I think on the top of good is a pretty nice spot for it. And you know what? Back on the themes of Ginyu forces, let's just do this one. Time stop. Not time skip. Not time skip. Not hit. It's Guldo doing time stop. The world. Essentially, let's be real. If anybody has had this technique, it'd probably be super OP. I don't know what the heck he's doing with this. You know, theoretically, he should have just won. But, yeah, no. Yeah, it kind of makes it seem kind of trash. But I feel like if anybody else had this move, it'd be kind of sick. But it doesn't really work out like that. I almost don't even. You know what? I'm putting the back. I don't even want to put it above Glorio's magic. I truly don't. Oh, look, Guldo's cool and all, but Also, why? That is not the Ultra Instinct time. Okay, whatever. Maybe I'll get a better Ultra Instinct photo in the future. But let's just do this. Yeah, look. It's just Goku's legs. Anyway, Ultra Instinct mastered. Yes, it's the technique. It is not a transformation. It's a technique. Now to put it above anything would seem kind of silly. I'll put it. Where do I put this? Like, because this is kind of like a super hype, but also very MacGuffin-y. So it's kind of like, I feel like to put it past a bunch of iconic things is a little bit disingenuous. The question is, do I just put it? I might just put it after Kaioken. The question is after or before Kaioken. That's for me right now. For me, I'm like, after? Before? After? Before? It's like, at least for me personally, it's fantastic. Well, actually. I'll put it before. I think Kaioken's just way more iconic in general. In fact, I don't know why I have Kaioken kind of low. In fact, I might actually just... No, I think it's fine where it's at. The problem is there's a lot of other iconic things about it. All right, let's regress. For Instinct Omen. Sign. It's non-mastered. Put after pretty attack. Let's put after destructive disc. You know what? Yeah, you know what? For now, I think that's good. I just think it looks cooler. I just think, like, it looks cooler. Not that cooler, but it looks really cool. Because it kind of looks like just base, but with, like, aura. We all know Goku has aura, but Goku got aura. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's just me. And okay, let's move on to this. I don't know why I didn't have this on in general. I feel like this should have been on here this whole dang time. It's instant transmission. I broke for a second. I apologize. Anyway, instant transmission. Pretty cool, pretty useful. In fact, I'd say it's iconic as well. The question is, how iconic would I classify it? But I think it's cool. In fact, you know what? I'll put it before Mafuba. Now, Mickey, why are you putting these things in weird places? I don't know. It's just a gut feeling. Again, everything's subject to change, but at the moment, gut feeling, that's where it's at. I guarantee at the end of this whole tier list, I'm gonna look at it and go, wow, this is all wrong. And then just mix and match everything. I'm just getting everything one at a time. So this is how it's gonna be. This is how it's gonna go. This is how it all goes down. Anyways, next we have Neo Tri-Beam. Move is cool. Use it against Semi-Perfect Cell. Absolutely decimated mans. But he also hurt himself because the move has a flaw. It has a drawback. Takes his life force. Everything with a drawback and such, to me, and a flaw, to me, is just genuinely cool. I think it's neat. In fact, I might put this on... The question is, I put it on favorite or at the top of good? That's the real question. I genuinely think this is a dope move. In fact, I think it's very, very cool. You know what? Let's do this. I feel like, you know what? Let's do this. Not that. You know what? Let's do this. There we go. I think that makes so much more sense. All right. Don't question it. That's what we're doing today. That's how it's gonna be. That's me. What's this one? What's this one, you ask? Telekinesis. Telekinesis. Obviously, Cell's not the only one with telekinesis, but this is a good representation of telekinesis. Henceforth, I'm using this photo. In fact, a lot of people have telekinesis. It's a basic technique. I think it's pretty cool. In fact, I might put it above top. You know what? You know how to think about it. Frieza does throw rocks at people, which is pretty cool. I'll put it by the Frieza techniques. I'll put it above Eraser Cannon. I think that's where telekinesis belongs. What do you think, though? Do you want to talk to me about it here live on Twitch? Do you want to tell me in the comments? What do you think about this list so far? Is it booty cheeks? I need to know. Perfect. Wow. Holy cow. Okay, I'm going to stop that.